Security and National Insurance Trust into an insurance bank where contributors have access to their funds after 5 years of contribution instead of waiting for 40 years. And they are also going to introduce a cure me first, bill me later model into the healthcare system, allowing SNIT contributors to receive treatment before payment through SNIT.
Yes. So he's saying that for this one, I listened to him. Yeah. He said that they will turn the Senate, as you know, Senate is largely a pension scheme. Yeah. So it's when you qualify for pension. I think now when you contribute actively for 12 years, I think 12 or 15 years.
You can start.
Yes, if I'm wrong, someone should correct me. 12 to 15 years. Then you qualify for pension. Then they will give you a lump sum. Then they will also spread some amount for you on a monthly basis, right? He's saying that they will do it on an insurance scheme of a sort where even after 5 years, you've contributed and you think it's enough for you to take to cure yourself or get some accommodation somewhere, you can go and take the money. Then he says that those who contribute to such fund, when they go to the hospital, they will be treated first before payment discussions are had. So basically, that's what he wants to do.
This is a very humanitarian policy, if you ask me.
But for me, it's also a conversation about pensions.
Yeah. Yes.
On the flip side of it, because it will be it's just like the insurance. There's why the insurance people say that 10 years we are doing a fund this. When it come at 3 years, they will pay some penalty and all that. But they have to invest the money. Yeah. Yes, they have to invest the money into certain sectors of the economy, reap so that they can pay you and all that. So I don't know. I think it's
not as easy as it sounds.
Yes,
though. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Because Senate is by an act of parliament.
Yeah.
So we need to.
My only concern is, when it comes to the cure me first, bill me later.
For that, I agree.
I do agree because people do need that service one way or the other. Because a man for Niska, you are going to wait for pensions to mature before and all those things.
But it will mean that he has to go to Parliament. I don't know whether he even have members of Parliament standing on his ticket. Go to Parliament and amend the Pension Act 2008, the Act 766. There needs to be some amendment to it because per the laws of Ghana, Senate is a pension scheme, largely. You can only
if you want to
reinvest, we need an amendment of the law. Yeah. So I don't know whether you have the required number of members of Parliament to be able to do these tweaks. But I think that he also raised a conversation about maybe how Senate is being currently managed. Mm-hmm. The ILO recently issued a statement about whether Senate can even fulfill some of its obligations in the future. And they released a statement countering it and saying that they are at a good place, their finances are good. But when you also read about the same Senate, while they are talking about their strategic investments in hotels and all that, you can clearly see that they are mismanaging some of these assets. And it raised conversation about how they are managing people's money and whether people can trust them that when they go to pension, they can deliver on the promises, to them.
What investments have they made and what are the returns and why are they telling us what they are telling us?
I'm a Senate contributor. I think one day we need to have a conversation, call them to tell us how they are investing our money. It's very important. Let's speed up a bit.
So
the summit is what they call industrification.
It's industrification.
Industrification. Yes, you are right. Industry. I think that he said he's merging industry and education.
Education, yeah.
That's how he come with that word. Industrification.
That makes sense to me. So he says an innovative education policy aims to merge industrial knowledge and traditional curricula, creating a generation of industrialists, entrepreneurs, and economists. The plan emphasizes teaching children with local culture to instill national pride and reverse the trend of westernization in education. A complete overhaul of the national curriculum is proposed, prioritizing critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and problem-solving skills to prepare Ghana's youth for the challenges and opportunities in the future.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's basically trying to merge what industry offers and what our education system can produce for the industry to achieve what the industry wants to achieve, basically.
Haven't you heard, people in the industry saying that institutions are not producing the kind of graduates that is for the
theory and practical.
So this is a perfect example of that. And a couple of days ago,
so under Cheddar, we have the likes of Appiah Cab, Wachima
Tres, and all these people. So take for example, we want to establish a car manufacturing industry in Ghana. That's why we have companies coming into plant. How are we not, for example, training people in glass making when we have the glass factory which is rotting away.
That Boso glass factory
that can supply, assembly lines with, we can start doing that in our schools and then use that skill.
Okay. So, for example, if I get you, if you are doing a car assembly plant, for example, you can start having a curriculum on headlights.
And headlights on this,
bonnets,
on that, yes, all those things.
And all those things. Okay, sounds nice. I think that for me, his explanations sometimes were all over the place, I must admit. Listening to him, but when it comes to his explanation on the electrification, let me check it again. Industrification. I really like the explanation, how you have to connect, because for me, for example, I did meteorology, I finished, I haven't entered plane before, I haven't experienced any control tower room where there's, I experienced that when I was doing my national service at the airport. That's post my 4-year training, so what he's saying is very, very important. There are many engineering students, they don't have access to some of these things. So we need to really have a conversation. I think that it's a conversation.
Imagine we have engineers who are well vested in cars that were made in the 80s. Now for some VW 24 model big bar or so you need to bridge both knowledge gaps. And the 8th pillar is about education, environmental and human rights protection. So this one says pillar it focuses on empowering citizens through civic education. It also says press freedom. They're going to emphasize on press freedom while maintaining high standards of truthfulness in media reporting. Data protection measures will be enforced to safeguard citizens' privacy, and then they're also going to propose implementing quota systems for pro bono cases in law firms and streamlining voter registration process to enhance democratic participation.
I think this is clear.
Yeah.
I think that's clear. Then the 9th one is about apostolic governance. Your favorite.
Yeah.
What's happening with apostolic governance?
They are going to propose a streamlined government model with 12 ministries, each with clearly defined and ambitious mandates. This apostolic governance model aims to reduce administrative inefficiency and costs while enhancing accountability. The plan also introduces the concept of 16 regional CEOs with active executive functions, empowering them to drive regional development and make their regions more profitable for their inhabitants. So
there will be 12 apostles or ministries. So meaning 12 ministers.
I think do you have the document where he...
No, so this is what his team sent me. So I'm just referencing it. Okay. In fact, when I asked them about the ministry, he said yes, it's 12 ministers. Then the regions, because they are 16, there will be CEOs of the regions. For now, they didn't say there will be deputy, and the Kufa the second term, there are no deputy regional ministers, not like the first term. So there will be 16 regional, and they'll be giving KPIs like what happens in the private sector. That this is the mandate, and they said that they've understudied every region and they know every regional strength. So based on the strength, they'll give you KPIs, key performance indicators, where you'll be paid based on how you achieved it. That's what the team explained to me. So there'll be 12 ministers under Cheddar. So Bamia says what, 50? Mahama said what, 60? Alan says 40. Cheddar is saying 12. So that is what we are going. Then the 10th one says that raise Ghana's first 50 billion United States dollars.
Yeah, this one, it's an idea I've never heard anybody brought forward.
But how does he want to achieve it?
So he says this aims to unify Africa by granting citizenship to Africans willing to invest in the country. This will be a collaborative initiative by the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Interior. So it's going to be in 2 phases. The first phase says they are going to target 1 million skilled and business-oriented Africans, and this will help them raise the 50 billion. And the second phase is they are going to expand the program to cover people of African descent living outside the continent. The funds raised through this initiative are earmarked for debt reduction and fueling the 16 regional industrial revolution, potentially transforming Ghana's economic landscape.
No, I'm not getting it. So it says that the first phase of the plan to raise the 50 billion is that they will target 1 million skilled and business-oriented Africans to raise the 50 billion. And that will be, so for example, the year of return, the people who come into our country, we would target some of them who are business people and strategic investments and raise the 50 billion from them. Is that understanding you are getting?
I think that's what they mean. If well, the elaborations are not too clear, but if my understanding is, if you can actually target these 1 million businessmen and then offer
in the
them
diaspora,
in the diaspora, and then offer them incentives in investing here, then the money that they will bring is not necessarily getting a contribution from them and raise the 50 billion.
Let's read it says that the program aims to unify Africa by granting Ghanaian citizenship to Africans willing to invest in the country.
Yeah. So the keyword here is invest in the country. So 1 million people. Okay. This one is investing $1 million.
Okay,
this one is
now.
I get it now. Yeah, you can get the bulk of 50 million pumped
so
into
we make our citizenship attractive enough for them.
Yeah.
Package the country or through maybe a conveyor belt like the GIPC, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Then we get these people into the country.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. I think President Akufo-Addo started something like that. Recently, we gave citizenship to
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. And all that. They need to come in and help us. Then the 11th one is national security and data sovereignty.
So this plan also includes migrating government processes to a secure blockchain infrastructure to enhance transparency and eliminate fraud. It says the new force proposes increasing the national defense budget for improved inter-regional security, utilizing advanced technology like surveillance systems to combat challenges such as illegal mining and terrorism.
I was trying to read last night. I was trying to read about this blockchain thing. Basically, it's like a framework that enables a certain maintenance and development of networks. So it's like an amalgamation of a lot of data set into a framework of it. So that's my non-IT understanding of it. And it comes with, they have the nodes, they have something they call the smart contract. There's a lot of cryptography. There are a lot of protocols you have to go through. And some of the issues I was trying to read about it is sometimes there can be breaches. There's also scalability issues, how to scale it. There's regulatory issues. Ghana, even some of the investment system, it took a long time for SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, to ratify some of these people. I don't know whether we are there yet. I don't know, Leo, whether you have enough ICT. Me, I'm limited. But those are some of the issues. And even the cost of it, and also data privacy, people's privacy and all that. So I don't know, but maybe one of these days, he's promised us an interview again. We've spoken to him, I think about 3 months ago. He's promised us an interview. When he get him, we asked him about that. Yeah,
maybe we asked him. Because
but about his plan about illegal mining and terrorism, very important. Surveillance. We need to maybe deploy modern ways. Have certain station drones at these Galamsey areas, track it 24/7. I don't know whether possible.
These are proposals that has already come.
Yeah, I think 4 years ago we bought them drones under 3 million of them.
Yeah, I remember the TACO training.
Yeah,
for a small scale mine.
And you were there.
I was there. We mentioned this. Actually, they were going to deploy those drones, and it was going to map the areas, so that when they map the areas, they will know that this concession and then it can tell who and who owns which concessions where. So for example, if you go back and then you are mining and you're even doing the wrong thing, the drones monitors can prompt you and say no, what you are doing here is not right. They can come and correct you.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that plan was extensive. It was good. I always say this.
Do you still have a copy?
I think I have some of the books that were given to us.
Bring it tomorrow.
I'll bring it. Yeah, I'll bring it so that you look through. So it was a simplified, something that people are going to learn for 4, 5, 6 years. They simplified it to the understanding of many. That if it was going to be...
In how many weeks was the training done?
Oh, it was a few days, about a week. It was about a week's training. But it was very impactful. Like I have to say, it was very, very impactful.
You learned a lot.
A lot. Because most of the things that were said are things that people practiced already. Their hands were already on the job. So if you are in the industry, you knew what they were talking about. And security implementing, at least on the side of the monitoring with the drones and all these things, best. But where did it go?
Money. On the tourism too, I think that is important. The West African sub-region recently, the offshoot of coups again, mimicking the 50s and the 60s, where Sylvanus Olympia and co were all, killed and all that. So I think that it's a good plan. I don't know whether Zando is around. He can speak to this probably better. The 12 pillar is about sports and creative industry.
Okay, where is that one?
It says that
okay. The new force proposes building multi-functional sports academics in every region to nurture young talents across various sports.
Okay, pause there. So they'll build academies, not AstroTurf. This is proper football academies in all the 16 regions. So 16 football academies
for various sports. So we are talking tennis.
So it will be multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose. Okay. I know one in Winneba. Yeah,
that's a sports college.
Sports college.
Yeah, that's Ghana Sports College.
Yeah.
Is it a Ghana? No, the Ghana Soccer Centers are pram. The Winneba is a sports college. Yes,
okay. Yeah. And they are also going to. This plan also includes establishing a Hollywood standard film studio to attract international filmmakers and boost Ghana's film industry.
Chairman, really a betcha. I listened to him. He said that they will do the is it Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
Kind of studio. You know, Tyler Perry has this studio.
The largest private.
At Atlanta also, where he bought a former military base and transformed it. He said he built one. You know, the President Kufuor wanted to build one, and the Kumon people started whether he should go to Chebi or Kumasi.
I don't know how that information like that. And then it just went
at the
away.
point I even heard it was being taken to Kunsu.
Yeah.
What happened to it? You are in the industry.
I don't know what happened to that one but I think the Kunsu proposal came in because Mercy Siedu has a similar thing over there.
Oh, okay.
That is where she shoots her
movies,
her TV shows, and that one is modeled after like an ancient village.
Yeah.
So
the traditional setup,
and it's clearly something that we need.
Okay.
For me, this investment will make sense now because of the fact that Africa is gaining a lot of recognition around the world now.
The woman can come into Benin
and all those things. So if we can get these
infrastructures, that reminds me. So can't we have directors also selling Yas and Toy Story the same way we did it for the Woman King?
Eugene, this topic, we will need a whole week to talk about it. Ghanaian movies or like imagery on TV itself. We have a very big problem. Why are we not tapping into all the beautiful books that has been written by, seasoned storytellers? ICC Library, KNUSD, and all these places.
In 2018, when I went to Cote d'Ivoire for the first time, we entered the airport. You have certain glimpses of what the country is about. I thought it would be different when since they did the Prempeh the first. That was my first time. I think it was last week or so. I left on Saturday. Everything on the screen, Ghana Aviation. No film, no music in the background, no some slide music, nothing. On the flight, nothing. Kotoka, nothing. Coming back, nothing.
Look at the greatest movies that has.
Charlie, in fact, the taxi I picked from the airport to my place because I was going to Legon, the Institute of Economics, to do a U.S. government something. Nothing. But when you watch movies, it should be deliberate enough that if it's some music in the taxi, they should be educated the importance of it.
When you go to New York, they intentionally play you Empire State of Mind.
Maybe one day we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, quickly. About movies. I'm sure you've seen movies like Lord of the Rings and the Bourne Identity and all these great movies.
The Bourne Supremacy,
Bourne Ultimatum, all those ones. A book, so.
Yeah.
Angels and Demons, blah, blah, blah. All of these are books.
There's one movie which is about Tripoli. It was also a book, Black Hawk's Down.
Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Yes, when it's true. I think
it's actually happening when it was about.
No, it wasn't Tripoli. I think it's Mogadishu.
No, I think it's Tripoli. If I'm right.
No, it wasn't an Arab country. It was a.
But Mogadishu is also a Muslim.
But I mean the skin color. Okay. So it was a dark.
Oh, even there's a movie when you mention Mogadishu. There's a movie about piracy, which was also based on a book.
Captain something.
Yeah, I think we have enough stories to tell. But my producer says that let's pick the phone lines now.